Tanner sat alone at the restaurant. It was a fancy place. Well-dressed waiters danced around tables, bringing food to the equally well-dressed customers. Hopefully, knowing that he had money would make him more attractive to his date. This would be the first time Tanner and Sarah met face to face. They had talked on that dating app plenty, and she seemed to like him. But Tanner had felt that way before. Those girls eventually fading into ghosts. Sarah would probably end up fading as well. Or he could use Sentimand. The bottled emotion was what had gotten him his money. Sentimand had gotten him his new apartment. Sentimand could get him a good relationship. All he would have to do is slip some of the Sentimand L he had brought from the lab into her drink, and she would love him. No, Sentimand is still being tested. Dr. Harrowing would be pissed, and the love wouldn't be real. She would love him only as much as he could make her love him. It wouldn't be right. Tanner was staring at the cup of water across from him. He had already drank half of his. He took a deep breath, shaking himself from his thoughts, and looked at his new gold watch. It was 7. She was supposed to be there. Tanner's heart sank. Of course, it won't matter if she never shows. 10 minutes, Tanner said to himself. He would give her 10 minutes. If she didn't contact him or didn't show after that, then he would go home. Go home to his empty apartment and eat ice cream, relax with some video games or a show, anything that would distract him from the loneliness. Maybe even some Sentimand joy. He didn't have any on him. He only risked the Sentimand L bottle. He would have to go to the lab or talk to Claire to get some, but maybe that would be better than the loneliness. Here is your table, miss, a waiter said, interrupting Tanner's thoughts. He looked up, and Sarah stood there. She was wearing a dark green dress and gave him a sheepish smile. Hi, I'm Tanner, Tanner said, jumping out of his seat and offering Sarah his hand. Hi, Tanner. It's nice to finally meet you, Sarah said, shaking his hand. The waiter pulled Sarah's chair out for her, and she sat. Tanner claimed his own chair as well. So, you're the guy who bottled emotions. You know, that's bad for you. Tanner chuckled. No, I helped, but the credit belongs to Ben. Yeah, but you named it, didn't you? Yeah, I did. And you're helping test it, right? Yeah. Good. Tell me about it, Sarah said. She seemed interested in Sentimand, but something felt off. Well, it's not something I can just talk about. I mean, our research is classified by the government, and... Oh, I didn't mean to... I mean... No, it's okay. I would be curious too. Right. The way it can make people do things? Who wouldn't be interested? What do you mean? Well, haven't you seen the papers? Burglars are using Sentimand to get people to give them their possessions. What? I I haven't read those. I don't really read the news. You don't? But it's important. Yeah, for stuff like that. But a lot of it is about problems I have nothing to do with. That is clearly different. And I didn't think Sentimand would be used like that, Tanner said. Yeah, and where do they get it? The lab here in Valeria is the only place producing Sentimand, so they must be stealing it, Sarah said. Excuse me, have you had the time to decide what you would like? The waiter interrupted. Oh, no, sorry, Sarah said. It's quite all right, miss. I'll be back. Take your time, the waiter said, leaving. Sarah opened her menu and hid her face. Tanner opened his. He had already selected his meal. He wanted the steak. This restaurant bragged about the quality of their steak. Tanner was more than happy to test their word. I don't know, Sarah said. What's your favorite food? Tanner asked. Knuffles, Sarah said with a smile. Knuffles? Tanner said. Yeah, it's dough boiled and then fried in butter. It's like fries, but different, Sarah said. That sounds good. What? Nothing. I'm just wondering what it tastes like, Tanner said. It's like, I don't know, salty? Tanner laughed. Well, how would you describe a taste? Sarah asked. I didn't mean to offend. I was just not expecting how you'd say that, Tanner said. He felt so happy, just spending the time with Sarah. It wasn't that she distracted him, it was just comfortable. He wasn't alone. Dread filled Tanner's heart. He would go back to feeling alone after the date. And what if she faded now that he had a taste of her company? A taste of what could be. He couldn't risk leaving her. You asked me about sentiment earlier, Tanner said. You said it makes people do things? That's not true. Sentiment supplies people with an emotion. What they choose to do while feeling that emotion is still their choice. But it's influenced by sentiment. True, but it's hard to describe with words. Do you want a taste? Tanner asked. A taste of sentiment? Isn't it supposed to be tasteless, like water? Sarah asked. Well, yeah, but Tanner stammered. Sarah chuckled. Her laughter was like music. You're doing that on purpose. Yeah, you're cute when you're nervous, Sarah said. You know what I mean. I have a sample of Sentiment Joy with me. I thought we could try a bit. You could see what it's like for yourself, Tanner said. It was a lie, but a small one. Sentiment L was quite different from Joy, but how would she know? Okay, sounds exciting, Sarah said. Tanner took the bottle from his bag. It had a dropper as part of its lid. He carefully deposited one drop of Sentiment into Sarah's cup of water, and one drop in his. They drank the liquid together. The rest of the date was the best Tanner had ever been on. Hey, if you like this story, check out my other work on my profile. If you like them, then you might like my book, Dr. Harrowing's Tale. Look for it on Amazon or hit the link down below.